Hi everyone. I wanted to say a few things, and this is going to be relatively short. But I was thinking as I was waking up this morning that one thing that America needs to understand succinctly, and this is the awful truth, that as our morality declines, as the economy collapses, as this buildup of armament, grows, that is documented, and that I know I've touched on. Anybody that's looked at all, researched the matter, sees happening. What we need to understand, that not only is it going to be completely immoral, against the Ten Commandments or anything that matters regarding how we regard our neighbors, our brothers and sisters, the rest of humanity. We cannot engage, meaning the American people, in a slaughter of each other, which is what globalist interests want. And there is a very clear point that I'm coming to. But the police are brainwashed into the atrocities that they're now, many are committing, not all of them. Will say that the training in police forces now is not of protect and serve so much anymore, not by a long shot. That's why if you're looking into any type of news, you're seeing a brutality that I don't think any of us would have expected. And it's getting worse. We're talking about, shoot first, ask questions later. It's becoming somewhat of a standard. If you don't believe me, please look at it for yourself. Then you mix in these militarized federal agencies. And we're talking about agencies that have no business having guns, much less bullets, that are being built up in the event of emergencies or catastrophes. But I'm telling you, look into the no more hesitation targets that the DHS purchased, put in a purchase order for. So it was over $2 million of these no more hesitation targets, which depict young children with guns, okay, in defensive stances, pregnant women, women in bathrobes, hello, or women in bathrobes or older, men in their 70s, 80s, and what these are, they're cutouts, life size, of people defending themselves. Did I say pregnant woman? Pregnant woman, yeah. But she's one too. That the DHS has purchased, that they will use later on for not hesitating to shoot on these types of people, young children and pregnant women, as I said, young mothers with a younger child. So, point of the matter is, we cannot engage now or later, financial clubs or not, in a shooting war with each other, because that's exactly what the globalist interest wants, and we got a huge clue in what happened at the Bundy Ranch as to what was denied afterwards as being the actual reason why these quote federal lands that are actually legally can be also considered state lands, and there's the investigation that is ongoing as to really who has the rights to what in play right now. But what this boils down to is that Harry Reid was lying, and he needs to be investigated, put on trial, after he's arrested, in prison, because he lied blatantly about him and his son's involvement with a Chinese corporation that wanted to build a solar farm, and essentially, from what I understand, an easement property, or what was supposed to remain as a pristine piece of land next to the solar farm, was where the Bundy Ranch was going to be. It's all part of the same solar farm. So, you know, they removed 52 families, 52 ranch families already through taxation, through regulation. But, you know, this is just an example of what is happening nationwide. And what I'm saying is, and then I'm going to end this video, because you need to look at this stuff for yourself. But we want us to shoot and kill each other. Then the NATO forces, which are the Chinese, are going to come in, and they're going to slaughter the rest. Because the end game is communism with a fascism, government oligarchy on top. Just a small group with their slaves on the bottom. This is no joke, and this is the reality. And from a biblical perspective, with all of these chess pieces in play, and I've looked over the years briefly at the Book of Revelations, and I don't pretend to really understand it. But this could be biblical action. But what I'm trying to say is, the Chinese, who have bought up so much of our treasuries, they're buying up our land. They have a city here, at least one. I don't know. They could have more. But they're chomping at the bit to take over this nation. And it is the Chinese that are the real threat, in my humble opinion. So what I'm saying is, we cannot engage with each other, because we're playing right into the globalist hands, because the Chinese are definitely in bed with them. Okay? They're getting swaths of gold, and they're getting swaths of land. I have no idea how many of the islands around Greece, or what have you, they have purchased. But what I'm saying is, the globalists, particularly the Chinese, are going to love the fact that we've been brainwashed enough to engage each other in a violent, deadly fashion. So, police, military, military forces at the Bundy Ranch that were facing each other. One is brainwashed in the BLM forces, and they were. I don't know if these BLM agents were really pretty much aware of the fact that they were the first sheep just to be slaughtered, because there were forces, above. Some were militia, and some were other BLM, but there was only a segment of the BLM holding the cattle back from the ranch owners and the militia that were helping to protect them. I mean, there was, I don't know, 10, 15 of them with automatic weapons. They would have been killed. And a civil war would have ensued right then and there, folks. So we cannot engage each other. That's the bottom line. In no way, shape, or form in a violent fashion. Because that's just the first phase, is what I'm trying to say. Then the Chinese come in, and then, America's already down the toilet, basically. But if anybody just stops and grasps that fact and say, wait a minute, I don't want that to happen, then there can be a reversal. I'd rather have some positive motion back into sanity and to retain peace here, so maybe later on it can what's happened. Read John Perkins' Confessions of an Economic Hitman, because that's what's happening to us right now. The corrupt elements of our government have already gone in and bought off presidents, or just removed presidents who are not cooperating, and just bomb people into oblivion, or they have just moved people, they displaced them, shot families, wholesale murder I'm talking about. And we have to look at the fact that it can happen here. It is beginning. And it's only because we have the Second Amendment and what's left of the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment that we have any protection left. So people need to think long and hard. I'm going to send this out. People are going to listen, or they're going to say, Judy's a conspiracy theorist. Listen to her. Or they're going to understand that I'm telling a truth here of what the game plan is. I've looked at it long enough myself. I've talked to enough people. I have asked hard questions on the Alex Jones program several times. And I'm not saying that to toot my horn. I am a concerned American with 2 children that I brought on this planet. I mean, I'd really love to have grandkids, and I've said this before, but it's not a good idea. Right now, anyway. So, take what I said, and if you're going to take it for a grain of salt, I have no use for you anyway. But, understand that this is what we're up against. We're up against the Chinese, bottom line. They're waiting, very patiently. They want this war to get started. And if they're I don't know. I don't want bloodshed here. I don't want to die. I don't want to see my brothers and sisters die. So, whether it can be staved off, I doubt it. But, I have hope. I have faith in God. I have what's left of my sanity and my faith. And I'm just going to keep taking care of myself, and I'm going to keep talking until I can't talk anymore, because that's my right. And I know that we don't have to do this. Thank you.